Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Bunnings NPC, except this one also is a Ranfurly Shield challenge between Canterbury and Otago. Now, Canterbury recently securing themselves the Shield. Now they've had to defend it quite often, and that will continue. If they are to win this match, they have 2 weeks, and then they are taking on Taranaki, side that recently did have that Shield as well. If Otago win, it is straight into it next week. They'll be taking on North Harbour, so plenty can still happen before we reach the playoff games of the competition. But this is 1 versus 2. In terms of the overall standings, Canterbury sitting 7 wins from 7 unbeaten throughout this season, whereas Otago, they have suffered 2 losses, still being pretty strong overall. As you can see, that points differential of 100 in favour of the Canterburyans will be looking determined to take home the Shield. But looking through at the starting lineup, Finley Brewis in the front row alongside George Bell and Darcy Breen as the number 3. Darry and Hannah in their locking duo. And then in that loose forward trio, we see that work rate of Christie, who is always given 150% for this side. And I don't see this matchup being any different, definitely with the fact that the Shield is on the line. In the back line, it is going to be Chapman alongside White as that 19 combination. Natunani Punevai slots in out on the left with McDonald out on the right. Che Fiaki dangerous under the high ball, and once again will be a real key for the Canterburyans here. Looking through at Otago for their starting lineup, Bulle in the front row alongside Henry Bell, so there is a Bell in each side for this matchup. And then at number 3, it is Wingham there too. They are just shown in the live standings. Taranaki, due to their win, have actually gone ahead of Otago in the overall standings, but it still remains the same. If they get themselves a big win here, away from home, up against Canterbury, they can put themselves very nicely on the overall standings. They have got Dylan Pledger as that starting 9 with Cam Miller at 10. The midfield combination of Thomas, Umanga Jensen and Josh Timu, definitely one to keep an eye on. And then the back 3 with Jonah Nareki out on the left wing. Always got plenty of pace. We're just seeing the score there. Southland losing 75-19 up against Wellington. That one's a bit more one-sided than I'm sure the Stags would have been liking. We have got there, how was the Ferns build-up this morning? I well Canada on fire. Says the AI underdog. It was an interesting one. Definitely a great performance from Canada. And to be honest, it shouldn't have been anything less than what we did expect. Canada are a phenomenal side. They were ranked number 2, and they showed exactly why throughout that matchup. But what we will do, ladies and gents, is we are bringing in a guest on this live stream. A live guest as well. One who is here in person. There's my mum. She was here with us for the last Ranfurly Shield game. She's about to pop on. What we will do is we will change the size of the screen a little bit. There we go. We'll give you a little bit more room. Might need a little bit more than that. 1 second. We'll go like that. We'll go. Yeah, your glasses are fine, I'd say. It's kind of working. I'll move over a bit more for you again. In fact, what we can do is I'll just rotate this. Yeah. There we go. That's easier, isn't it?
I'll put these on.
Yeah, go on then. Hey, Mum.
Hamish.
Now, I should mention the initial plan was going to be one of the other Kiwi lads were going to join me for this one, but he ended up being busy, so my mum got roped into joining me for another Ranfurly Shield game. Again. Although you did enjoy the last one, Waikato versus Southland, didn't you?
Yeah, and I don't know if Southland's gone any good since, have they?
No, I think they've lost almost every game, unfortunately, but that's what was expected of them. You know, they weren't supposed to get that Ranfurly Shield under the belt, but it's exactly what they did. We have got there, hi Mum, Hamish loves you, long time lol, says Kiwi Rob. And also we have got there, oh damn, Hamish Statham. And cheers Mum for the predictions. What are you going with? You going Canterbury?
Nah.
Did you see the points differential?
Nah.
So
Otago
all the way?
Yeah.
It's kind of a tricky one, isn't it? For us, we're halfway smack bang in the middle. A little bit of both. I think that Canterbury will be hard to beat though. They are unbeaten.
I know, but can't back Canterbury.
We have got there from Ruts, Mum gets buzz cut too if Canterbury lose.
No, fuck off.
And there we go, the first F-bomb
no.
has already been thrown in. Hooray for Mum. Oh, we can see a good Canterbury win here, says Jonathan.
No.
In there as well.
Can't you tell? I'm Otago all the way.
And I don't see my teams win in sport anymore, says Highlanders fan. Although, Otago, to be fair, if they're your side, or are you? No, you're more of a Southland guy, aren't you? They're still not sitting badly on the table. They're 12th. So they've won the 3 games, and that was actually their winning streak that led them to a Ranfurly Shield challenge and a victory up against Waikato. But North Harbour, the real talking team at the moment, because if Otago win this game, they face up against North Harbour next week for the Ranfurly Shield. So North Harbour could go their whole season, only win 1 game, and that 1 game could get them the Shield for the rest of the year.
That's a bit rough, isn't it?
Well, it is, but at the end of the day, that's rugby, isn't it?
It's good that it's mixing it up and everyone else is getting a go.
Well, we had that patch where it was just Hawke's Bay and then it was just Taranaki for a little while. This year, I'm not even sure how many we're up to at the moment. Probably about 3 or 4 different sides have held it, and it's been in such a short stint of time. In fact, they showed like the bracket in terms of who can win it, and just everybody.
See, back in the day, there was quite a long stint with who had it for years. Was it Auckland had it for years?
Maybe it could have been Canterbury actually.
Yeah.
Wow, Otago have challenged Canterbury for the Ranfurly Shield 14 times, winning just once in 1935. That's a while ago, 90 years since Otago.
Stats are against them.
Big time. And the season's against them a little bit too. But the fact that this is a top of the table clash, or at least it was at the start of the round, now Taranaki getting themselves up that bit further, they will be challenging for the Shield around the corner too. How many wins do you think you need to be in the playoffs? Oh, it's a tricky one with the NPC because, as you can see, there's about probably, every team here still has a chance of getting inside of that top 8. Even someone like an Auckland. Now, of course, they did just lose their most recent game, so you probably say no. But like Wellington are now right back up there, and I believe they are within the top 8 after a 75-19 win. So that boosts them nicely. You've got Manawatu are always a bit of a weird one in terms of whether or not they're going to make a late dash, but I'd say 5 wins just about gets you there. Somewhere around that mark. Maybe you'd be unlucky to miss out with 5, but I'd say 5 would put you pretty close and at least kind of in the running. Cam still hasn't lost a step. Says it was there from the AI underdog. And they have North Harbour win. That they play the Stags for the Shield, says Highlanders fan. Yeah, so if we do see... Well, that's the thing. It just keeps on rotating, doesn't it? In terms of who can still play. The likes of Waikato, there was a chance after losing their match for the Shield that about 2 weeks later, had the results gone the way that they needed, they could have played for it again. The 2 sides about to make their way out of the tunnel. Wellington should be more competitive soon. Says Jonathan there. Yeah, well, they've got a very strong side at the moment, Wellington, and that was even without some of their All Blacks. I know that they had Ruben Love at 15, as well as Kyle Preston, now counted as an All Black from his 15 minutes that he managed to get.
15 minutes of fame.
Hopefully more, though, for Preston in the future. We see there Tom Christie, the man is heading overseas to England.
Really?
Yep. There you go. That's a bit of info. Braden Enor not too far behind him. Big smile on the face at the moment of Christie, though. Why wouldn't you when your team's got a points differential of about 150 after 7 games? Decent crowd, too, at this match. And I've seen quite a few people from down south. Otago kits, Highlanders kits out there.
Cool.
This is the type of game that I think outside of the South Island, it sounds quite bad to say, no one really cares about it. No. But in the South Island, this is the big deal, isn't it?
This is neighbour versus neighbour, isn't it?
And, about 20 years ago, this would sell out a stadium anywhere, whether it was in Dunedin or in Christchurch. Right, looks like he's already got a little bit of a shiner that he's dealing with.
Nice.
I love when the training goes well.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out on Dylan Pledger. He's been cooking and is a Highlander next year. Says Highlanders fan.
Cool.
We see them now making their way out onto the field. Yeah, big signing for the Highlanders, getting Dylan Pledger after the Aaron Smith situation, I guess you could say, in terms of who was to fill that 9 jersey. Falau Fakatava, of course, doing quite nicely alongside that. Did have, I believe, I always say just whiskey, but James Arscott has the option there. And then also there was the other youngster who I can't even think of off the top of my head. What's your opinion of JOC going all the way to England only to come back? I mean, he pretty much explained it. The media tried to blow it up as some big deal of Joe Schmidt sent out an SOS, but he was just setting up his wife, and I think it was the dog, in terms of the location where they're going to be living while he's over there playing. So, he went over there, got them all settled in, and then he's coming back to play in the Bledisloe. But everyone's like, oh, Joe Schmidt, he had to make the call because O'Connor's, they're desperate for him to come back. And it's like, no, it was his plan all along.
Like desperate for him to play on the bench, off the bench.
Yeah, no, they don't even give him the start, do they, half the time? JOC, he should be starting, but at the end of the day, they're trying to build that young depth. They've played 170 matches, these two sides. 10 times they have drawn, 95 times Canterbury have won, and 65 times Otago.
Oh, we'll go with it, 65. Yeah.
1935, the last time that they've been in them for the Shield.
Forget about the Shield.
We're underway. I've got to do the scoreboard today, but Otago kicking off from left to right, and we are underway for this Ranfurly Shield challenge between Canterbury and Otago. With a little bit of luck, I'll be able to keep this scoreboard relatively up to date without too many troubles whatsoever. Like that, and like that, Louis Chapman now with the clearing kick, going towards the sideline. Doesn't go out, and nicely taken by, I believe it was the fullback for Otago. Now going back across to the left-hand side. And I think for any chance in this match for the Otago side, they have to do what Southland did, and that is go early.
Yep.
Try and push the Canterburyans right from the get-go. Roy Gard, what's your thoughts? Back in black soon? Probably. I think that they are very desperate to get a decent halfback. And that's nothing against Christie. He had one of his best games for the All Blacks, and then they sort of decided to chuck him out, bring in a guy who's just come back from an injury to get re-injured. So, they'll be happy to have Roy Gard, but they'll also be likely to try and chuck him in too quickly. As we've learned, that is the trend. That'll kick him behind Cam Miller. Big pace shown from Jonah Nareki. Does get a good shot into the spine of James White. And how come Sam Gilbert gets so many minutes for Otago, but none for the Highlanders? Says Highlanders fan. Well, he's currently coming off the bench, and he's also leaving next year. So that might be why. Maybe they decided, get rid of him. Now, Che Fiaki passes away to the left-hand side. Nice wide cut-out pass there from, I believe it would have been George Bell. Natunani Purivai unable to get that next pass away up to halfway for Canterbury now. It's also been a bit of under-18 rugby on today. So New Zealand Māori went up against the under-18 Chiefs. And also, I think there was a New Zealand school side up against the New Zealand under-18 Barbarians too. Now into the hands of Johnny Rover. George likes him. He thinks he's got a real crack of being an All Black in the future. Look for the offload. Goes into the hands of the Highlanders. Just a knock on there. That's a quick start. First 2 minutes of the game. Finally shows why he's been invested in. Says the AI underdog. Johnny Rover. Little chip him behind. Kind of schooled Jonah Nareki with the fence there, didn't he? Just kind of stood there and watched it go over his head.
Was that not done?
It was, it was around the proximity of the ball going forward. Now, scrum feed here for Canterbury. It actually looks like they've got a few thousand there in the background for this match in terms of those stands. Hot dogs are expensive at the ground.
No, I haven't been there for a while.
Have you?
No.
We have to get you at the new stadium. Do like a stadium review.
That looks huge, that stadium.
Now, big scrum. That is nicely done by Canterbury. Going off to the left-hand side now. Chapman going to first receiver. Johnny Rover tries to get through Cam Miller. Now off to the left-hand side again. Pops it up to it would have been Dom Gardner playing 6. This is pretty much the Crusaders with a few changes. Ball on the outside. Natunani Punivai just short of the try line. This one might start to get a little bit ugly early for Otago if they are unable to stop them through and over they go. And that is going to be the first try. And a little bit of push and shove already between the two sides. I believe that was to Ryan Barnes. And that number 8 jersey, I think, who managed to go over. Yes, it was. And just like that, silence the crowd, isn't it?
Lucky.
I mean, they did just bulldoze over, didn't they? It's just nicely done. Nice ball out to Natunani Punivai. And adds the extra 5 points on the board for Barnes. 8 on the Currie Cup final with the England versus France. We are doing both. There you go. They do overlap, but there is a reason behind doing both. And I'm hoping that it's going to become very evident when that Currie Cup game starts. It's pretty much one team's picked their URC side. The other side don't have URC players. So the likeliness is about a 50-10 scoreline.
Yeah,
so it's a bit of a dead rubber in a way.
Well, that Currie Cup doesn't seem to have been that well.
Well, it's because some of the sides have been able to pick and choose when they play their good teams. So the teams that have good players, their fan bases are getting annoyed at the start of the season watching their side that would normally win by a lot get beaten badly. And then on the other side of things, now they bring them all back for a bit of warm-up for the URC. So the Lions have at least been slightly consistent with it, but yeah, it hasn't been the most popular tournament this year, just because of no consistency across selections.
So
Chapman.
Why do you cover it?
Seems like a good idea at the time, doesn't it? Staying up all hours in the morning.
Yeah, nothing else to do.
Pick and go. Josh Timu keeping the ball alive here. Otago need to fire straight back. That's a very good offload again. Keep the ball in the field of play. Henry Bell going up against his brother George in this contest.
Are they brothers?
They are indeed. Yep, both playing in the front row. They just need a prop as the third option, and then they'd have the whole front row covered. We have good there. No offense to Otago fans. Oh, they're breaking through Josh Timu. We'll come back to that in a second, but they are going to be about 15 metres, if not 10 out from the line now. That's great work in the breakdown, though, from Canterbury. I believe that was James White who managed to get in there. Now here comes the runner, George Bell. Offload, Gary. That was poor.
No.
Oh, you can't go back for that penalty when you didn't blow it initially, ref. But it will be the penalty now for Canterbury, not releasing, even though they started the counter-attack. And Finley shows why he's been invested in. Says the AI underdog. And also we have got there, did you see WXV is changing next year? I did not. But there's a lot of formats that World Rugby do like to switch around when they do get the chance. The likes of the Sevens, that's looking very different to what it did last year. But a good run from Josh Timu there.
He looks like, so he's John Timu's boy?
I believe so, yeah. There's a lot of them out there that are second generation or third generation players. And half of them look like the spitting image. I saw a picture of Doug Howlett's son the other day playing rugby, and he just looks the same run and everything.
Okay.
Our line-out throw.
He's pretty quick.
Yeah, if he's anything like his father, he'll have a bit of pace about him. Now, play on. Chapman rolling this one back again. Still 7-0 after the 7 minutes on the clock. Oh, bit of a loose one for Chapman. Oh, that's a cheap shot there from Otago. That's just dumb. When you're down by the points, you don't want to be giving away silly things like that. I think that was Will Tucker. Oh, he's going to get a talon off too from the referee. Okay. So far, they just listed all the offences throughout the first 8 minutes. He's taken a man past the ball. He's had a late shot. And he's also started a push and a shove. So he's been busy out there on the field by the sounds of it. Does anyone know who the number 8 for the Crusaders is? Height, weight, and age. There's Tanner too. So his name is Ryan Barnes. Yeah, it was very late, wasn't it? I didn't even have to see it again to know how late he hit him.
Yeah, settle down, mate. He's the one that was pushing and shoving when they scored the try too.
Maybe just trying to fire himself up for the Shield Challenge. Nice lid, Amish. So here's Jason, and also we've got there not enough scrums yet. And are you doing any other games tonight before sleeping for the 2 games tomorrow? We've got 5 games in a row that I am going to be doing from pretty much 12:45 a.m. onwards. So it is going to be busy. I should really be sleeping at this period of time, but instead we are doing a Ranfurly Shield game. So
much.
if I look absolutely exhausted by the end of the weekend, you know why. We're going to have Brumbies or hope also start with a win today versus the Western Force. There's Jonathan. That one's kicked out on the full from Chapman. Go back towards the halfway line. G'day, Hamish and Mrs. Booth. Says the big V8 show. And also Hamish says right down under. Welcome in.
How's it going?
On out throw here for Henry Bell. Who do you think's going to be the big breakthrough player for Otago in this game? Is it going to be the one who was starting the push and the shove, Will Tucker, or do you think someone in this back line? Thinking Timu?
Yeah.
It's from that little chase. Oh, and that's an awkward one there. Jay Fiaki does brilliantly, though, to be able to end up with the ball. Roygo comeback game today. He's on another level. CS freshman. And yeah, the biggest thing for the All Blacks, though, will be find a way of using Roygaard so that he's still playing in November as well. Because the last thing that they want is to have him go down. Ratima's not a mile away from coming back either. In fact, I think they'll have most of their halfbacks by the Bledis, though, with the exception now of Noah Hotham, due to him coming back too quickly. Oh, nicely taken under the high ball for Cam Miller. Jay Fiaki with the safe hand, says Danner. And good news, I won my basketball grand final last night. Says right down under. Nicely done.
Well done.
How many, do you call them baskets? Call them baskets? How many baskets did you get? Oh, little bit of a slip.
Or points scored.
Points, yeah, that's easier, isn't it? Because sometimes your
Baskets.
baskets, you don't know whether they're 3s or 2s.
No. How many points?
How many baskets do you own? Be a few, wouldn't it? That's off the side of the boot. Goes out on the full from Otago.
We used to play basketball back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, because you could foul a bit.
Because you were more of a netballer, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 0, but we won by 7 points and I got a medal.
Well done.
Good on you. Is this the shortest your hair's ever been? I think so. I don't think I've had a point where it's been this short in my whole life.
No.
It's been like a little bit longer than this. Oh, another advantage here for Canterbury. 11 minutes in. Missed tackle there from Haig. In fact, it would have been Will Stoddard this time. That's the second time we've seen Derry drop the ball. It's not quite what he would have been wanting. Right, this is an easy 3 points you would think for Canterbury if they want it, but more than likely kick for the corner. Stay aggressive. It's what they've done throughout this whole season. Alomana says the underdog. Would you do a 3 here for 10-0? I think that most sides would, but Canterbury, their points differential is 150. So,
there's a reason for that.
Yeah, they will go aggressive, although they haven't found touch. So that's a bit of a mistake. They will still have themselves the line out, but this time probably about 30 metres out from the line. I don't know whether that was kicking into the breeze or just didn't quite get it, but James White not getting a huge amount of that.
Bit of a breeze there. We're looking at his hair going.
Because it's not too breezy outside, and we're a few hours away, aren't we? Are you enjoying the breeze on your head? It's all right. It's much easier to work out temperatures now. Oh, big run down the wing from George Bell. But I found that hats are annoying, which sounds a bit weird. But no, hats, kind of sits like it's almost like a Kelly float. It's right on top and it kind of hovers, almost like an air hockey puck, actually. It's probably a better analogy of it. So it just doesn't sit right. And now, running forward again, Canterbury. They are 10 metres out from the line. Braden Enor getting driven backwards and shaking all around as he was wrestling his way towards the ground. Now 12 and a half minutes through. Sam Derry. Carry this time from the big lock. Off to Tom Christie. Short ball from Chapman. I'm popping it up again. This is looking dangerous, isn't it?
Just a wee bit.
Right on the verge of another try, another advantage. The ref's had his arm out all day so far throughout the first 13. And now thought about crawling there. Again, going to be just short. George Bell trying to fire them up. Chapman going off to the right-hand side. In fact, I think that was where Bell was pointing, was it? He was on the ground trying to call the shots. They go into touch. They will go back for another penalty advantage against Otago. Got the Vegeta lineup page, says the AI. Do you know what that is?
No idea.
I have no idea either.
Well, if you don't know, how the hell am I supposed to know?
I thought it could have been like a
Is that
slang.
A slang?
Yeah.
Is that a swear word?
I don't think it's a swear word. If you change a couple letters, it's a body part. Now, thrown in. Not for me, but...
Oh, jeez.
Oh, break it off the back then. George Bell's over. And Canterbury score another try for themselves. Yep. It's going the way that some thought. And the thing is, top of the table clash on paper, she's a good chance it could be closer.
Oh,
But
early
no.
days. Early days. The Otago boys are just warming up.
Okay. I like the mindset. Well, to be fair, Waikato, they got the late comeback, didn't they? And to
So
be
did
fair,
Southam.
in the NPC, it's just one of those ones that you always see something happen in the last 20. Check out Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. I've never seen Dragon Ball Z. But I think now I know who you're talking about. He's got that short one. All I need on my head's an arrow, and it could be that Avatar. The one with the arrow. That's not another forfeit we're doing, though. That kick's going high. You know, that is hanging in the breeze a little bit, but it's a great strike at the ball. It goes over, making the score after 14 minutes, 14-0. Point a minute at the moment for Canterbury in this match. George Bell is looking more like Cody Taylor than any other hooker in the country. High work rate, athletic, and nifty running game. So here's Tanner too. Yeah, he seems to be, I would say, depending on what happens with a Safwa more, I would argue that he's probably third choice. I do think that Razor would, well, it's a tricky one to say whether or not Razor would go with him ahead of Brodie McAllister. That's a drop ball from the young number 8. And now Henry Bell, so then 10 metres out for the line for Otago. They have to take their chances when they're given. Good tackle from Braden in. Oh, trying to break his own ankle there. Otago's fullback now playing the 9, or I think they've said that he did just have the ball out. Now back across Dylan Pletcher. Going in field to Wingham. Back across middle of the field, Joe Tamani not playing for the Fijians. In the Pacific Nations Cup final later on up against the Japanese. Another offload. That was off the ball by the looks of it. I think that was Ollie Hagel, though I think he could have the argument that he thought it was going to be in the breakdown. Yeah. That's probably the only thing he's got going for him. Tom Christie trying to hold it up into a rolling maul. NPC always quick tries, more than Super Pacific League for sure. Now 10 metres out the line, Otago again, Pledger with a short pop pass up, couple metres out. Oh, Will Stoddard, oh, it's loose. Pledger goes short side. A driving tackle from Enor. Up underneath the breakdown. To the left again. Lee Haig, big collision. Now off to the left-hand side again. They're not really getting it into a gap, are they? No. Henry Bell, though, makes 1 or 2 extra metres for Tom Christie. That was some good go forward, pick and go. And just short of the line for Thomas Umaga Jensen. Up to 12 phases in. Oh, Cam Miller almost dropped it at an advantage, though, against Canterbury. A couple metres still to work with.
You can't hold on to it in there.
Off to the left. Henry Bell just short. He's within inches.
His brother did.
Yeah. I tell you what, they both definitely try scoring options for their sides.
Get out of it.
I think that was Jamie Hanna looking for the steal on the breakdown. Thomas Umaga Jensen again just short. And a new advantage. It doesn't seem like they're going to win that power game of just going around the side. I think if they can shift it out wide while under penalty advantage, that might be their best bet. Joe Tamani again dragged down short. Now this is where they'll be dangerous. Looking through a gap. Great tackle from Braden Enor. Manages to make another brilliant one just out from the try line. Now Pledger onto the right-hand side, stepping through, and they will pierce the gap. It is Sam Nemec Vile, I believe, as the 15. And Otago are back into it. Can I just say, with that kind of defence from Braden Enor, I know people don't like him in the All Blacks, but wouldn't that be quite handy? Tackles like that. Yeah. Nothing against Proctor at all, of course, but, you know, he had some really great, look at that tackle. That saved a try right there. Yeah. Unfortunately, then just a great step around the rush defence of Chapman's. Greetings, Earthlings. Sayers solid there. Now we have got there, shake my head. Stupid advantage probably made them give up. Sees 10 or 2. And so important to make the convergence, especially against the better clubs, Tasman, Otago, Taranaki. Yep. We'll be covering the England-France game tomorrow. We certainly will be, alongside the Curry Cup final, alongside the Pacific Nations Cup final, alongside the Samoa versus Chile Rugby World Cup qualifier, and also the third place playoff game between Tonga and Canada.
That was a mouthful.
It was. Now, 10 hours worth of yapping I will be doing, but that kick is good. From Cam Miller going down the middle. Now, going to make the score 7 points to 14, but they needed that, and that all came from the one handling error. You look confused. The scoreboard, there we go. Now it's behaving itself. Pledger, as always, has all the goods for higher honours after he completes his apprenticeship. So here's Jason. This might be within one try. Otago was close versus Tasman. So here's Jonathan, and yeah, to be fair, Tasman were close against Canterbury, so I don't know. I think Otago, if they can find their rhythm and not allow Canterbury to just dominate possession, because we did see throughout that first 10 minutes it was all Canterbury's ball. And now an attack and run back. Nicely low tackled. Running on to that one was Darcy Breen. Good ball from Chapman, looking for the little kick behind Nato Nani Punevai. There will be a little bit of pressure there, a slip, but just not quite picking up the ball cleanly was Braden Enor with the knock on. Just as I said how well he was playing. And see you, thanks from Canada. See here's Jameson and thoughts on shifting Carter to centre. I mean, it could be an option at some stage, but he has only played, I believe, one game at outside centre throughout his whole career. And that was actually in the Bay of Plenty game. He's actually got more time as a halfback than an outside centre, but it does still seem to be that 13 and 12 jersey that a lot of people are debating. Like, don't get me wrong, Geordie Barrett's probably going to take that 12 jersey for quite some time, but it's 13. People, I don't know, there's a lot more people giving up on giving Proctor more chances at the moment.
Yeah, but Geordie Barrett doesn't pass it to him, so they've got to introduce one another, don't they?
Yeah, a little bit. It's just, there's a lot of uncertainty around that back line. I do think that the 4-pack, they're on the right track, though. I think that it's getting closer.
Getting closer, yeah.
Cam Miller, that one's gone straight sideways. So 22 metres out from the line. Do we have a starter at 13? Not really. I do think that the long term and the biggest problem they've got at the moment is all of the ex-fellas as well as the coaches have said Proctor's going to be the future 13. But he's probably not the now 13. Just at this stage, he doesn't quite seem ready. But at the same time, every once in a while, he has a little moment that you go, oh yeah, so that's what they're seeing in him. And apparently off the field, in terms of training and everything, he's one of the busiest men out there. But it just hasn't quite translated into his international game yet. But then that could be to do with who's on his inside. As an Otago in the second tier competition, they are not. This is all one tier for this season. Now sitting here, they're actually second on the overall standings at the moment, Otago. That looks like a forearm to the throat, doesn't it? From George Bell. And now Tom Christie, short side. This is once again very dangerous. Crawling towards the line and scores it as he wasn't held. I think one of the Otago players may be saying it was double movement, but it seems like Christie has got himself one here. And we'll go like that.
Otago boys hanging off him. Is that not being held?
Yeah, to be fair, that is a bit like being held if you have a player on you. Right, we'll go like that. There we go. Gonna see it now.
No.
See, it was probably a half by we release there from Broomfield.
Yeah.
Nah, see, that's a tricky one because Damani's almost looking for a jackal there, isn't he? They're trying to get that steal and didn't quite get it due to Christie crawling, but he also, I guess, needed more of a hand on him to really secure it.
Yeah.
Morning, Hamish and Mum. Good seeing the two of you, and thank you for the commentary. See, here's Joss, and that's because everything is not factored in. He'll do good for, off the bench right now, I reckon. Yeah, I think he'd be an all right player to have off the bench later on, because that's actually what we saw a bit with him at the Hurricanes. When he returned from his injury, it was he kind of came back with a hiss and a roar and seemed to be able to bring that kind of impact. But yeah, there's some uncertainties. I also don't think it's the end of New Zealand rugby as we know it, like some people are trying to say after that loss.
It's only a few losses. Good.
Yeah, but no,
You know,
it's
look
the
at
end of an era.
Look at Australia.
You know?
How many
It's
games
harsh.
have they?
It's harsh. They'll take the Bledisloe off you if you're not careful.
Yeah, I know.
21-7. No, in fact, 19-7. He did miss that kick. I watched him miss. Still gave him the points for it. Very generous, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
No, mate, I just noticed here gone. The here is gone. I had to do the forfeit, and so I did. And George Bell's looking awesome in the CPC tournament, and I'll let them celebrate. I'll take it as a compliment. So here's the AI there. Now around the halfway line at the moment. Rolling this one back. Dylan Pledger. Go like this. Go like this as well. Now nicely taken. And off to the left-hand side, Pledger again. Going out to Joe Tamani. That will for Auckland. I assume that's that win for Auckland. Nenai Satoro is X Factor all day. Should be on the AB Zaba radar 100%, says Leighton. Yeah, he's got a little bit of versatility as well, and that is something that they do enjoy. Tom Christie giving away the penalty there. That's a terrible pass from Dylan Pledger. Under the penalty advantage anyway. Sit there for Christy. He did land on his elbow. Did the hairdresser give you a discount? She gave it to me on the house because she saw that I was it was literally the same barber as I had about 6 days before I got it cut again. So, no, it was very generous. I was trying to pay. I tried paying twice and she was like, nah, not happening. Yeah, just down there, Christy. Can't quite keep his body weight. Go like this. Like that as well. Now 10 minutes remaining here. 15 minutes, in fact, rather than the 10. What's that Canterbury guy doing? I don't know whether or not he's legal there.
Of course he's not.
But he's just chilling. Yeah, he hasn't been told to get out of it yet.
Yeah, get out of it now.
Now told to use it once. Henry Bell getting tackled by his brother George. She may not have taken the money, but she did take a cut, says a big rig. She also did take a pen, because I wasn't sure if she had been able to find the channel, but she said that she found it last weekend. So she also got the limited edition Kiwi Lads pen for her troubles. Now, Thomas Umunga Jensen just out from the line. Hone Rova just getting the fingers in there, and he's going to be penalised for it. It might almost, I don't know whether it's a yellow card offence. That's a beautiful pass out wide. Joe Tamani taking contact with Chapman.
He just about dropped that.
He almost dropped it twice there.
Yeah.
But they'll get back on the board here, Otago, and within 7, this kick goes over.
Alrighty.
She's a seesaw at the moment. Go like that. We'll just keep on updating the time with a little bit of luck. Hi, Mum, says Robert V.
How's it going?
And sorry about the bad typing, Hamish. Home from the dentist. Did they, give you a bit of the laughing juice? Or a bit of the
Happy stuff.
The happy stuff, maybe. Yeah, it was a big collision. Chapman, he was brave to still try it, but I guess he had to hold his ground, didn't he? Or else he would have run right round to the posts.
And he'll be off shortly.
Should be an Otago try there, and it certainly was. Nice wide cutout pass.
Told you, Otago were just warming up.
They're getting ready. Slow start, but building into it.
Yeah.
They just need to stop conceding before scoring.
Yeah.
Cam Miller. Ready to strike this one. And once again, straight down the middle. He's making the win look easy at the moment in terms of everything straight between the sticks. Go like that. It's currently 19 points to 14, but the try to Tamani. The assist goes the way of Dylan Pledger. Nitrous oxide, great stuff. Says I Lollipop. Tamani. Boy, Fiji would have loved to have him for that Pacific Nations Cup. I know that they're still going all right. They're through to the final and they will have a decent chance of winning it. That's a knock on from Canterbury early.
So is there a reason why then he's not there?
I think it's just some of them Pacific Island-wise have decided to back themselves in the NPC rather than playing international rugby.
Oh, okay.
Same with someone like a Miracle Fire Lungy. What a bounce of the ball that is.
That bounce has gone Canterbury's way.
Now, big collision. Henry Bell. Driving tackle on Braden Enon. Now, Finley Brewis with the wide skip pass. That one not so favourable in the bounce department. Of all the drugs, it's the most oral. The music goes in your head, difficult to explain. Says I Lollipop. Music goes in your head. Right, and this number 10 is pretty damn good, says Tanner too. I assume you're talking about Cam Miller, and of course he is going to be there at the Highlanders. I think for next season anyway. But yeah, just a little awkward bouncing one for the fullback, and that is a perfectly claimed ball from Louis Chapman. Isn't that the Crash Team Racing villain? Says Big Rig. Nitrous oxide. What is it? Eno 2, isn't it? Eno 2? Eno 3? Eno something. Maybe just Eno S. NOS. That's what you put in your car, isn't it? Make it go fast.
No.
Now Otago. Scrum feed. That scrum's gone down. Going to be another scrum reset. Now already 30 minutes almost gone in this contest.
Quick, isn't it?
Yes. High scoring one.
Yeah.
I feel like in the NPC you love the last 10 minutes. And outside of that you're just waiting for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you're not as fond of the first 70 as you used to be, are you? What was that look for?
Nothing at all, Hamish.
Dylan Fletcher. Out to put the ball in again.
I didn't have my nap this afternoon.
Didn't you?
No.
You didn't get a little snooze in.
No.
Mum did play golf this morning. I caddied for her and she hit the ball nicely at times. I think is the way of describing it.
Yeah.
She's now all tired out.
I am.
Kia ora, folks. Got a backhand tab from York in England. Kia kaha. Says Andy Scott. Yeah, they have started this competition with a hiss and a roar. 7 wins from 7. That's a high cut out pass there. George Bell. Good low tackle made by Will Stoddart. Back up to his feet. All to Marnie. Jumping the gun there a little bit. We hope there something's different. I can't quite put my finger on it. It's my mum. She's with me today.
How's it going?
Now 20 metres out from the line. Now off to the left side there. I was reading the comments at the same time. Now passed out to Natunani Pune by offload. And Canterbury scored in the corner again. Curtis McDonald, the man who scores it.
It's going to be a high scoring game, isn't it?
Big time. Vic was getting a bit sick last weekend after your stream. Sure he is thick-skinned as he had a good laugh about it all. Says Jason. He's getting a bit sick last weekend after your stream. I think that was just down to the fact that he did an all-nighter the night before. He was up to all hours doing the NFL. So yeah, he certainly overworked himself throughout that weekend. But he'll be back firing this week, I'm sure. We do often talk to Vic and Vern. You know Vic and Vern, don't you?
I don't know which is which, but yeah.
Yep. I would say that at the moment I've got a haircut halfway between the two of them.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. But now, ready to line up this one. Go like that. We'll go like that. There we go. 24 point to 14. Kick to come. This will not be an easy one. And just hanging it out to the right-hand side. Also not having the distance. We have got there Canterbury versus Tasman. Should have been the final game of the year. Says Tanner 2. And we have got there, you can get it legally as a whipped cream dispenser. It comes in little canisters. It's called Whippets by the English, one of the safest drugs. Says I Lollipop. And also, what is your score prediction about England versus France? Do you think it will be as one-sided as Blackburns versus Canada? I think it will be, if France don't show up, it's going to be more than a 15-point margin.
They've lost a couple of players too, haven't they?
Yeah, one for biting, one for injury. So it's a tricky one for the French because their game up against Ireland, they were nowhere near as good as they could have been. But then that doesn't mean that in this matchup, in the Six Nations, I think it was 42-43 between the two sides, England and France. Whereas in the warm-up with very similar sides, it was about 40 points in favour of England.
Oh, okay.
Nicely taken.
Because France missed out against us in the final last time, didn't they?
Yeah, we beat them in the semi. And Canada missed out because they faced England. So now there's a chance of a final for them. So either way, we saw the bronze final take place between the two that could play in the final, or we saw a semi-final from last World Cup take place. So everyone's right about there again, aren't they?
Yeah.
Canterbury have this ball. A little bit of an awkward one there for Chapman. Hello, Miss Kiwi lads. Your son is some man to work. You must be very proud, says Joseph.
Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he?
I'm not a bad caddy either. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna match midweek, don't we?
Don't say too much.
Don't say too much.
Yeah.
And to that weirder, the close game in England in Twickenham. Well, the game was in Twickenham. The game where France were destroyed was in France. Yeah, so bit of a tricky one to judge. That looked a little bit high from Natunani Punevai. At the moment, Otago are just losing consistent meters, and it looks like a steal in the breakdown on the cards there for Canterbury. That was just nicely done. And patiently waiting for their chance. Hone Rova puts it on the outside. Now, chance board Che Fiaki. He's another one a lot of people feel could be in All Black contention soon. But Vic was getting a bit of stick, aka cheek from the viewers, says Jason, and there as well. Yeah, although the thing was, it was actually mostly South African viewers who were giving him stick. So it was actually his own people who were ripping into him, surprisingly.
Why?
Because he said something slightly not godlike to Rassi. So he got a bit of stick for that. That's all it takes sometimes, is to just badmouth Rassi Erasmus in one sentence. Yeah, and you're done.
It's pretty easy to bag the shit out of Rassi, though, isn't it?
That can be, but we won't let you do it. We'll just mute. Do we ever come on Otago? I want anyone to have the shield except Canterbury. Says Vroom Vroom It's Razor. Well, in 2 weeks' time, they'll be playing Taranaki if Canterbury manage to win this one. A line-out throw here for George Bell. 34 minutes down in this contest. That was a decent challenge in the air from Otago, but now George Bell going away with the short ball to Barnes. He has already scored one. Off to the left-hand side again, Derry looping around. I wish South Africa had something like the Ranfurly Shield. I used to have the Curry Cup and a Knockout Cup. So here's I lollipop, and that's going to be dropped forward. Oh, okay. Someone's come in there and found an offside against Otago. I think they might have either been the touch judge or TMO. So it does mean that Canterbury get themselves another penalty. 10 points difference at the moment on the way that the scoreboard sits. And currently, they have got the bonus point. There was some, some we're calling the two princesses and Thelma and Louise. Says Jason in there as well. Yeah, see, I didn't get either of the references. So, you know.
Probably too young.
Thelma and Louise, that's from like a movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And then the princesses I'm not sure about because like neither of them, no offense to the blokes, but they don't really look like princesses, do they?
Well, do they mean the frozen princesses?
Well, Elsa and
Anna.
Anna? Anna. Is it? Canterbury trying to make it snow, except snow and tries. So 5 metres out from the line, not one of my best. But we'll go to the right-hand side here with Sam Derry now, sitting 5 metres out. Jonah Nareki getting into the breakdown now. Another pick and go with a penalty. Back going the way of Otago. No clear release in the breakdown. Men who like men then. Men who like men then. Is that your analogy of the two princesses, or is that what they were saying? Because people don't realise, well, I think a lot of people realise they're actually brothers. So, you know, that's all kind of messed up if that's the case. But no, we put those rumours to bed. Now 3 minutes remaining in the half. Only 37 minutes down, and Canterbury's still pushing the tempo, but Otago do need a try in the next, I would say, 8 minutes. Rassi might be the only famous bot coach I've heard of, similar to Henry and Hart days. Says the underdog pick, and when Nareki plays for the Highlanders, he's injured 24/7. When he plays for Otago, he's fine. And Auckland diving off feet at the rucks and getting away with it. Says I lollipop. Didn't they lose by like 25 points in the end? Now, Johnny Rover, big wide cutout pass. That must have been close to 4. Definitely hanging in the breeze. Now, nicely taken again. Firing across the middle of the field to Jonah Nareki. That's a big boot downfield. Must be the breeze going that way.
Yeah.
That does mean that Canterbury will have the breeze in the second half. Orche Fiaki, was it a change of line? They saying no. Now, Otago with the possession, lining him up early, was Don Gardner. Poor Stags got a hiding too. Yeah, they got a bad hiding in that match, unfortunately. Wellington getting 75 points in there. Has been suspended for 9 games for chomping on an Irish girl. Yeah, see, 9 games probably isn't too bad. Some people thought it was going to be a lot worse. But that means if it's 9 games, she got it disputed down from the original 12, didn't she? So I wonder what the argument was. I guess the argument might have been I didn't bite her that hard. Because there's no denying she bit her. And if you get it 9 weeks, you definitely did something.
Well, the photo showed it with that.
Yeah. Just taking a bite, wasn't she?
40-20.
It's a great kick. 50-22 from Cam Miller. He's having a good day.
He is.
The office.
He's a pretty good player.
He is. He's got the boot to match the kicking and general play, and it's just whether or not the pressure in some of the bigger matches gets to him a little bit. To see him miss that kick for the Highlanders, that would have taken them to golden point, penalty to Canterbury in the match up against the Crusaders, actually at this ground last year. This year. It was this year. She pleaded hunger, says Matt. And they were like, we understand. Sometimes it's a hungry time out there on the field. You get 3 weeks off. 3 weeks less. A disciplinary committee said, I can't even pronounce her name, that's why I keep on skipping it. Admission of guilt, clean disciplinary record, remorse and public apology were sufficient mitigation to reduce the ban. which to me is bull pies because she said it wasn't a red card offence. Yeah. It's one of those ones that you can, it sounds bad to say, but you can just manipulate it to the point of they will be nicer to you. It's like Jasper Fesa. He got a lesser sentence because of his disciplinary record. That man was suspended for half of last year. But they were like, no, we understand, Jasper. You didn't mean to headbutt the Italian. It's fine. It happens. Little cross kick there from Canterbury. So in there, 7 minutes remaining. And great work in the breakdown from Jonah Nariki to again managed to get the Steel Monster Trucks to taking over Forsyth Bar tonight. Says Jason. That'll do nicely for the lawn, won't it? It turns out when people play for their NPC team, they play 10 times better than when they play for the Highlanders. Says, Highlanders fan, now it's biting someone, not a red card offence, Mr. Tyson. Says Big Rig. Now ball's still there for the Otago boys. They look like they were considering back into the pocket. They're actually going to kick this out. Now, I can understand it a little bit because they were starting to lose meters, but at the same time, one last try there could have got them right back into this game. But then also, I guess one try conceded there could have ended their game. So, 10 points difference at the moment. We've seen a total of 38 points in total here.
That's pretty good.
Throughout the first half. Sam Derry?
I think Otago's done well to still only be within 10.
I think they could have easily conceded one or two more.
Yeah, easily.
It's just been that little last-minute mistake from Canterbury, or the 5-metre steal that we have seen as well from Otago. I didn't see it during the game, but looking at the images now, she got a real chomp in. It was blatantly intentional. Yeah, there's no denying that she meant to do it. Like, it's an interesting one because, I don't know, it could have been worse in terms of the suspension length, but at the same time, 9 weeks or 9 games is a decent amount. That's going to be missing the Six Nations next year.
Is it internationals?
Or
is it club games?
That may be club games as well. She might actually be back for the Six Nations then if that's the case. And can't see Tasman losing 3 in a row. Though Waikato has been competitive in some games here. They're playing at 7:05, aren't they? Those two guys seem like they be our new Retallick and Sam Whitelock for the combos, says Tanner, about Sam Derry and Fabian Holland. Yeah, see, I'm still not completely sold on Derry yet. But that doesn't mean that I won't be. E for me at the moment, who's another guy that's like that like has a lot of potential, but we haven't quite seen it yet. I can't even think of the example that I was going to use now, but I feel like he's almost there, but yeah, he's just got to stay injury-free and also just mitigate those handling errors a little bit more, and he'll be right. If it's club games, then her club is going to be pissed. Says Big Rig. Yeah, probably. It won't be the greatest start to the season for them, I wouldn't think. Question, do you think a ban should be only international games? Are you happy the way that it is? I think it depends
just
because...
months, instead, then you don't have to worry whether it's...
Yeah, see, you can work in weeks, can't you?
Yeah.
But
games is unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely with the
what
schedules.
Yeah, and what games are coming up.
But then I guess if you're in a bye week, does that mean like you could go into the last game of a competition and get a red card and then go, oh, well, I'll be back for my season anyway? I guess that's the one factor, but no, it's an interesting one. We have got there, France make it to the finals. Does she get a payday? It's an interesting one. I'd assume she'd get something for playing in the matches prior. By the way, was there an Auckland-Canterbury derby a while back? There was. We actually covered it on the channel. I believe Canterbury won that game, if I am correct. That was during the stage where Auckland couldn't get themselves any victories. Now they have got themselves 2 on the board. And Lemmer is going good for Waikato. Would love to see him back at the Highlanders to cap off his career. Do you know what I would love to see? I'd love to see him playing for Samoa so that they actually qualify for that World Cup in 2027. Of course not his fault that he's not playing, but Samoa, they've got quite a few talented players that, will be more than happy to put their hands up when that World Cup's around the corner. Yeah. And they'll say, yeah, we'll be in the team. But for now, they just all seem to be avoiding giving the Samoans that help. Now, of course, they're playing up against Chile in that 2-match series, and hopefully they can at least get close to booking a spot. But
What if they beat them? Do they get a spot?
If they have the better aggregate across the 2 games, they go through to the World Cup. If not, they have to go through another repechage in a mini competition with 4 other teams, or 5, or in fact, no, sorry, 3 other teams, and then you're pretty much a lottery of whether or not you get there. So they're running out of chances at the moment, these Samoans.
Are they? Who's financially backing them?
I couldn't tell you that. No, I don't actually really know. I assume that, well, that's the thing. The longer that they have to spend overseas qualifying, the more money that it's going to take.
Exactly.
And the Sevens, they're already down to Division 3 at the moment. Lima is overrated, says Kiwi Rob, as in like in comparison to who?
He was cheating a bit against Southland.
You did spot that, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you made sure that they knew in the breakdowns. Mumsy was keeping an eye on them. And we have got, oh geez, Jason has said, so are you, Kiwi Rob, and consistently annoying also. He didn't hold back, did he?
Lima is overrated.
Yeah. And 2027 is going to be a busy year. Us Kiwis and a Women's Lion Tour and Rugby World Cup 2027, says Kiwi Rob. Yeah, there's a lot of rugby still to come. Whatever they used to say, says the AI underdog pick there. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how Samoa go. Like, the thing is, though, I've seen so much support for the Chilean side over the last little while. Like, they're very excited to play Samoa and just have a chance making it to a World Cup. Of course, they did qualify for the last one ahead of Canada as well as the USA. See Cam Royard 2 minutes in and scores. Looks very timid, though, I assume that is. I think he's too early for next week. But the thing is, they started Hotham. And the question is now, have they learnt from that mistake?
No.
Or will they just chuck him straight back? And I think they'll chuck him, like, honestly, chuck him off the bench.
Off the bench.
But then do you start Christie? Or do you go Ratima? Will Ratima be back? He might be back in time. He was dealing with a bit of a rib problem. So it depends on how long. That takes a bit to heal, actually, a rib.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
yeah, so I'm thinking they'll go Bowden Barrett at 10 and Finley Christie. Don't look at me like that. I saw you through the camera. That side eye. But yeah, I think that's the combo they'll go with.
We lost.
Yeah, they did. But Roygaard and McKenzie off the bench.
We lost badly. We got to change the team.
Yeah, well, they started Hotham though, didn't they? They didn't start Christie.
We lost. you can't, and you can't put the same guys in there and say, "Oh, let's give them a chance to redeem themselves." That's bullshit.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Say what you really think.
You might get cut down because
maybe. What we'll do is we'll go like that. There we go. These are the benches. Sorry, Mum. You just behind that for a second. Other way. Yep, there you go. Letiu, the man from the under-20 setup for New Zealand. Daniel Leonard-Brown, as well as Brown as at number 18. Gallagher. The thing is, I get confused with some of these Crusaders locks because they've got Jamie Hanna, Dom Gardner, Zach Gallagher. They're all very similar individuals. For some reason, they all seem like they could be the exact same guy, and you wouldn't tell the difference. But Gallagher off the bench would be quite a dangerous one. Andrew Newstup, their number 22 jersey, and then also for the Otago side, Liam Coltman, the experienced veteran, as a 16. They have got George Bauer off the bench too for Otago, Hasty, Sam Gilbert, and also Josh Wanga / Power. I don't know how that works. I have to check my other lineup. I think it's Josh Wanga who would be there, but I guess that maybe was a late change. Maybe, I hope so.
Oh, okay.
What would you say?
Wanga.
Maybe. Could be.
Don't know.
And Mum's right. It's not redeeming its favourites. Baby with bath water time for me thinks, says Leighton. And then they destroyed the All Blacks. And I agree with Mum, too much changes even when we win, says the underdog. And also we have got Hamish, listen to your mother. Some of us agree, says Lawrence there. And also we have the Kiwi Lads question. Do you know much about the URC or how us Kiwis can watch it? I believe it's URC TV as the option that they will be using there. TVNZ dropped the rights this year, so it's no longer free to air in New Zealand. We've got to pay for it instead.
What's that, URC?
Yeah, the United Rugby Championship. Now, of course...
So even though we had a Kiwi in it,
yeah.
you had to pay for it.
Yeah, Rico Ioane playing for Leinster this year.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Now, I should clarify, I also want to see changes, which is why my lineup any week that we have done a lineup video has been different from what Razor goes with. I just don't think they will change it. Like, it's whether or not Razor's got the cojones to really go, this is a risk here, but he has to, doesn't he? But will he?
If he doesn't change it up, no one's going to watch it.
But is there a chance that that same side that lost badly could go out and beat Australia badly?
No.
No? You're saying no chance of that? It's a tricky one. You're showing a lotto ad at the moment. You like a bit of a lotto. You get some new golf clubs, wouldn't you? Some fancier ones.
What do you mean? They're only a couple of years old.
Yeah, although you haven't got a 5 or a 6 iron.
Get some more.
Yeah.
More clubs, yep.
We've got there. I was referring to how we can pay a sub because I can't find any way to pay for it. So that's like on URC TV. That is the website. Or URC Plus it might be called. Have you noticed lately New Zealand have an obsession with putting naked men on ads? This is about the third one recently that New Zealand have decided we'll just stick a naked bloke on the screen. It's a weird trend. It's as if they've gone, you know what?
It looks like a bloke that used to go to Waimate High, but I don't know if it is.
Ah, I see. He's a bit older now.
Yeah.
And we have got the, he's not redeeming his favourites. Yeah, but Razor's, throughout his whole stint, hasn't gone crazy selections, has he? It's been pretty much Foster 2.0.
Yeah, well, they said, let's get a new coach in there. Let's get Razor because he's the best in the world. What's he done? Nothing.
If you're bored, here's some eye candy, says Big Rig. But yeah, there was that skiing ad that had a naked bloke doing a jump over a ski.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. And then there's that other ad, even the Turner's car ad, they had the naked blokes playing guitar.
Well, that's right.
So it's just, I don't know why, but that's what we're doing nowadays. You know? My question is, where are the naked women? No. Meters made. 444 for Canterbury. You recognise that man's face, don't you?
No.
7 penalties, though, against Otago in the first half. Ryan Crotty, he's saying about the accuracy. Just need a little bit more. Line breaks at the moment 7-3 for Canterbury. No one has lost a line out yet. The 13 that have been retained. Okay, Ryan Crotty's just said he's got a lot of one-eyed Cantabrians supporting them in this match. Now Braden Enor. And some great defensive work.
So he's going overseas too, is he?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know whether he is. Braden Enor. He might be staying in New Zealand. Might be getting a call-up. Now kicking it off. Jonah Nareki. This is where they need an early try here at Otago. They can't afford any sort of early blunder that leads to a Canterbury try. Whereas this game, I would say, is almost over. If Canterbury get more than a 15-point margin, I don't think there's going to be much coming back from it. Now kick downfield, and that's going to be nicely taken. And the halfway line. I guess I'm tracking your search history, so I'm guessing if you're seeing ads with naked men, says Jason, no, it's literally on Sky. Like, for some reason, Sky are... Oh, in fact, TVNZ also have it, don't they? So it's just everywhere, you know? It's just good that they haven't decided to film the front of the men yet. Now going off to the right-hand side.
A wee bit far.
It's too far. You're allowed to show full crack, though. Full crack's fine when kids are watching the rugby.
You watch Love Island.
Going off to the right-hand side. Jay Fiaki, a little slip there. Oh, and does a forward roly-poly. That can't have been too nice on the neck muscles. Now sitting 45 metres out from the line. Rico was poor for Auckland. If you're an All Black, you should dominate at NPC level. Caleb Clark played well. Yeah, I saw Caleb Clark got himself the early try in the match.
He's right when he's that comment.
Well, that's why those guys who play for Waikato, you know, the likes of a Leonard Brown, Summer Penny Finau, none of them really stepped up to the level you'd expect an All Black to. Now, little kicker behind, Jonah Nareki chasing after this one. Going to be a hard one to grab. Oh, nice pass on the inside. Bit risky, but it's worked out very well and a good hoofing kick Downfield, Otago. Taking it at the back. Going to run this one back. It is the Otago fullback. I hope Rico doesn't get the call for the Aussie Test, says Matt.
He can't.
But we'll raise a pick him. That look forward. On out to Ollie Haig, tackled by Christie.
Flat.
And I only use Amazon to buy other people presents, so the targeted ads are now absolutely random and bizarre. I've bamboozled the algorithm. So here's Big Rick. Now inside ball.
Hospital pass.
There she claimed that the Irish girl's arm was making her claustrophobic, says Joseph. So you just bite it. Try and bite it off. Leave a gap. That's a big gap there. Will Stoddard.
Oh,
what a fend that is.
Great try.
Sorry? Some biasness coming through there, but a great start. Will Stoddard. Shea Fiaki. That was poor. Unfortunately, defensive mystery from him, or at least just chose to go a little bit too high. The Otago boys get him back into this contest. Next week, if they did win this, they would face North Harbour. Whereas Canterbury, they would have the week away before they have to face off against Taranaki. So either way, the Shield is going big time in terms of kind of just all over the country. With the defences, every butcher likes a good sausage, as they say, says Jason. However, there, Yahoo, got your lovely mum with you, says Noah, Moa Hunters. The OB's confidence is well down. Now they are ripe for the Wallabies. It's okay. We have learnings coming up, says Leighton. But you can also understand why their confidence is down, because all you got to do is go on social media, and the boys are getting absolutely destroyed. The ones who say that they're All Blacks fans have gone, nah, we hate you now. Oh, off the post and over for Cam Miller. His kicking could be the difference here. Currently 2 missed from Canterbury, whereas for Cam Miller, he is 3 from 3 throughout the early stages, and that puts them back within 3 points. Oh, a little bit of a change. That is going to be for Abraham Pole, so a change in the front row for the Otago boys. Now, Jonah Nariki. I mentioned that they needed that try within the next kind of 7 or so minutes. That was in 38 minutes into the contest. Good 2-man tackle from Canterbury. Keyboard Warriors are ruthless, says Matt. And yeah, they're the same ones who, when they see them training, they'll go, can I get an autograph, please? I've been a fan for ages.
Yeah.
Now,
everyone's got their opinion, but when you hide behind a keyboard and do that shit, I don't think. It's not right.
No. Not enough punishment for it, I don't think.
No, there's not.
It's probably too harsh to compare Razor's results to Foster when you realise the players Foster had, who are not around anymore, says a sporting Kiwi.
There's still a few.
Yeah, I think it's more so that, well, could you argue in that regard that Foster, he was more simplistic with his lineups because he had better players then? Surely Razor would have liked to rotate more if he had the new crop of players coming through to give them more opportunities building towards that next World Cup, right? Rather than going same old, same old. Like when you got someone like an Aaron Smith, Brodie Retallick, they're getting in the lineup no matter what for the All Blacks, and that was met with criticism for Ian Foster. But, you know, at the moment there are still a lot of combinations that no one knows whether or not it's actually the duo that they're going to be going with, or the trio that New Zealand are going to be playing, or whether it's just a bit of a flash in the pan situation. Nice charge down from Braden Ennor, just an awkward bouncing ball. Slightly avoid him. Nice to see your mum with you. She raised a good lad, says Claire there, and that is a large cupcake. The size of that thing. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice? Is it a vanilla cupcake, Claire?
Can I have it?
It looked all right. I've noticed it from a mile away.
Yes.
We have there. Hopefully, there's a spare seat on the Otago flight home for the Logo Wood.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be letting it out of the sight, Otago, because they have got to defend it next week if they were to win it. Of course, that is the big if. At the moment, they are still down by 3. I love debate. So did you actually make that? Because if you did, nice. It was a good icing to cupcake ratio. Ball goes back again. That's knocked on by Otago. Yes, I make the best vanilla cupcakes, says Claire there. That's a tough pill to swallow. Razor was voted in, says our underdog pick.
Do you take orders?
For the vanilla cupcakes?
Yeah, do you send them around the countryside?
Cupcakes must be hard to ship. Definitely if you've got, you stick them in that envelope. By the time they get there, they just...
Put them in a box.
I don't pick off the internet, but it looks very similar to what I bake, says Claire. There you go. I once tried to make cupcakes. The icing was like, I would say, liquidy. It's halfway between, it's almost like if you imagine making butter and the butter's not quite tuned enough. You know, it's kind of some liquid, some slightly solid.
Is that the day I came home and there was shit all over the wall?
No, that was a cheesecake that me and my sister decided to make. She said, I'll do the filling, as in her, because it's harder. And I said, okay, I'll do the biscuit base. My biscuit base was phenomenal. Her filling of the cheesecake was on the walls because the mixer was turned up too much. That's a penalty there for Canterbury. Yep. I don't tell that story often because it would get me in trouble. Chocolate cupcakes are the bomb. You should only get vanilla cupcakes if you win. Says Big Rig. If you lose, you get cold porridge. It's a game now 50-50. You not like porridge?
I hate porridge.
Oh, doesn't find touch. Oh, no, it does. Managed to keep it in the field of play for half a second, but just bounces out anyway. That is maximum meters. And that one about 8 from the line. And this is where the big difference maker could be made.
Could be. If
Canterbury score now, I don't want to say it's game over, but it's pretty close to it, I feel. Just with the amount of time left. Definitely if the conversion goes over. You know, 10 points is hard to make up from this stage of the match. Later on in the game, that's normally where Canterbury get that bit stronger. They've got a good bench too. If you can bake a mean custard square, we can talk business. I've never even had a custard square in general. That looked like a drop ball, but it's gone backwards. Says the ref, and they've also got themselves the penalty advantage now, Otago. As Louis Chapman playing, I'm really impressed by him. He is signed by, or is he signed? I think he's with the Crusaders, I want to say, is about their third choice at the moment. But he is playing for Canterbury at the moment. What about custard creams? No, I don't think so. Very boring. And now, to the right-hand side, Chapman going to Johnny Rover here to hiss and a roar at the start of this game and then kind of
haven't seen him since.
Quieted down. Tom Christie.
He's had a huge game, as usual.
Yeah. Although if it's like last time, they'll give it to Sam Derry for the man of the match, even though he did much less.
Well, I haven't even seen him till now.
That's what they said when he got man of the match. Now, George Bell, pick and go, another advantage against Otago. 7 penalties. Throughout that first half, they were conceding and now getting just within the 5 metres. Anzac biscuits. I've had an Anzac biscuit, I think. Yeah, they're called Ruffs now, aren't they? Oh, no, those were Afghan biscuits. I'm not sure whether I think I would have had one, but now passed on the outside. Fiaki finishes. We over there mostly do vanilla cupcakes and banana cupcakes. My workmates love them.
Oh, I'd imagine they would.
Banana cupcakes, that'd be all right. Is that banana icing too? Or is that like no ice? I guess because banana muffins, that's normally without the icing, isn't it? But you can put a bit of something on it and it'll go all right. Out wide to Fiaki. What about bourbon biscuits, the classic? I have not had a bourbon biscuit. Have you had a bourbon biscuit?
No.
Must not be that classic. Must not be classic here anyway.
No. Where's he from?
He is in England at the moment.
Okay.
We have their buzz cut suits, you says V. I think it could have been worse. You know? It's very shiny with the light the way that it is at the moment, though, I have to say. But no, I think it was potential for being an absolute balls up, and it's turned out to be not quite as big of a balls up. Now Fiaki has the ball fall off the tee. Someone going to hold it for him, or was it just a misplace? It's like just a misplace there for Fiaki. He's normally a decent man off the kicking tee. Do you have Copeland's Bakery? No, we do not.
No.
Sadly, that one is over from Fiaki. Not sadly that it's over. Sadly, we don't have a Copeland's.
Timmery and Omery.
That is now going to make the score 31-21 in favour of Canterbury. That's, I don't know. That's just getting a bit hard with 29 minutes remaining. They need to score before 60, I would say.
Yeah.
Because they can't leave it too late. Well, if you're even in the UK, try out the biscuits. Some reason we have a weirdly large variety of different ones, despite British food being awful. Says Big Rig. have you had a beans or a, what's it called, a jacket potato, Big Rig? Those are the ones that intrigue me, the ones that you see on YouTube with a spud, and then they've got beans and cheese and tuna on it. Oh, man, so the ball not quite sitting up again there for Jonah Nariki. He's done a couple really handy little chips that just haven't been favourable in terms of the way that the ball's moved. Sam Derry goes out to Braden, in on now in open space, wide cut out pass, finds Fiaki again, another Fendon. It's dragged down by Broomfield. That's like asking an American if they've had a burger, says Big Rig, and Otago kicking way too much. Yeah, well, they are probably kicking too much for the way that the ball's bouncing for them. Now Sam Derry shoveling it on to Fiaki. Ball on the inside. Now another offload to Chapman. Close to the sideline. Tackled by Miller. Spuds are overhyped, says V. I'm surprised they're not in New Zealand. To be honest, they're cheap and easy. I think they've made their way to Australia, because I did see someone on YouTube also do them out of Australia. And all that people said is, you're not from the UK, stop doing that. Now pass on the outside. And that's going to be the try. Andrew Newstub runs it in, and that's the concern of the Cantabrians, that sometimes they can just go quick fire back-to-back. 15 points difference now. That's a familiar scoreline for the day. Too soon? Too soon. 54 minutes in. An injury on the far side too. Scrambled. A Hamish new channel. Baking a rugby sounds decent, says Leighton. Yeah, it'd be an interesting combination. My baking skills are pretty minimal. My cooking skills in general are a bit rough. But I always say I cover more miles than I should, but the job gets done. You know? Like, there's a lot of walking back and forth for random stuff that I've forgotten to move or to put in certain places. But it gets done in the end, doesn't it? That's ball game, says Big Rig.
Yeah.
Now we have got there. I'm surprised they're not in New Zealand. And what I thought the best part of globalization is enjoying each other's food and music, says Big Rig. Yeah. Or it wasn't like the guy himself was enjoying doing it, but it was just everyone in the comments was saying, you're not from the UK, so stop doing this. So it was quite sad for him, really, because he seemed like a nice bloke, but I think he stopped doing it now because people just butchered him for doing it. They said, you're not doing it the right way, you're not doing it the same as over there. It looks like Josh Timu, the man who picked up the injury. We're going to see it here, the collision. Elbow.
Oh.
Elbow. That would have hurt. It's not really that the food is awful, just you have, so it's like Gordon Ramsay putting too much crap in it. So you mean chefs? Oh, we have got there bacon with mum. I'll watch that.
Probably not after the first one.
Would you consider doing a bit of baking?
Oh, we're shocking though.
Yeah. It would be the stressful. In fact, you know how they have relaxing ASMR? It wouldn't be that. We'd be running around all over the place. Things would be burning. Oh, Henry Bell falls over forward. Now going off. How much crap is just enough? As in like on a spud? Or no, in terms of like food, like for Gordon Ramsay. I think the thing with cooking though is, if you know what you're doing, was that a sneeze? It was a sneeze. I wasn't sure what it was.
I was trying to be.
Yeah, no, it's very civil. Jacket potatoes are bland and easy, but you can just put whatever you fancy on it. Cheese, beans, spinach, chili, whipped feta, and sumac. Being mad at someone else or at someone eats a jacket potato is like being mad someone making a sandwich wrong. Going up to the right-hand side. 25 minutes remaining now in this game. If Otago don't score before 60, I think they're out of this contest. And to be fair, they may already be out. They can't find a way back in. Currently 36 points to 21. I will mention the only thing keeping them in this game is the fact that there are many misses at the post. Now inside ball. And there for George Bauer, playing number 18 for today. Now short side pledge. A skip pass goes out to Thomas. Umunga Jensen gets through one. Chopped down but missed. There for George Bauer. Another offload. They seem like they're willing to throw it around here. Well, Stoddard. 10 metres out from the line now. Pledger. A little bit of a lobby one. Tackle Christie will look for the steal. Off his feet. Now Cam Miller tries to step. Jacket potatoes and in the embers of a fire, wrapped in tinfoil. If you're feeling fancy, butter, salt and pepper. Says Keeve there. Now, over there, if your souffle flops, so be it. So here's I Lollipop. I saw they made John Cena try beans on toast. He really wanted to pretend he hated it, but couldn't, says Big Rig. Now 7-5 metres out from the line. This is a chance for Otago. Wide pass from Pledger. Step. That's a great offload with the fact that he slipped over too. And Otago, they just won't quite give up here. Broomfield gets the try. No, it looked like a really big collision for him. In fact, it does look like he's still down. And they've actually worked their way towards a bonus point, Otago. So no matter what, they've got something from this game. You know, he's not looking too flash there at the moment.
What gave way?
I think it was just his whole body. Started off, I think he slipped to one side and then threw an offload and I think would have slammed awkwardly. I want to say is what happened there. Yeah, see, his leg slipped from underneath him and it might have been his left knee. Looks like it may have given him a little bit of trouble. Hopefully, Cinta doesn't see your mum sneeze, says Jason there. And tinfoil jacket potatoes are a firework display and bonfire. It's a tradition, says Big Rig. So I have a question. If you've got a big bonfire, how many jacket potatoes can you put on it at once before it's excessive? Because I can imagine covering a whole bottom layer in potatoes. You know? Just seems like a good idea. Can a microwave cook a potato without it blowing up?
Can a what? Microwave?
Cook a potato without it blowing up. The microwave. Like
you'd have to watch it, but it should be right. Yeah, that's how a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
Put it in the microwave and then cut it up.
Wrapped in tinfoil, eh? Boom.
Yeah. Do not do that to my microwave.
No, disclaimer, do not do that. You know what, Hamish? I've never thought of it before, says Big Rig, but now you will. And you'll be able to tell me an answer by the end of the stream. We have got the I say pick Pledger for the end of the year tour. Microwave, make them soggy. Says Kiwi. What games are you covering this weekend? So, you ready for the rapid fire? First of all, I'll update the scoreboard though, because Otago are back into this game a little bit. They are down by the 10 points. So, coming up in the next 24 hours. First, we've got the Curry Cup final between the Griquas as well as the Lions. Then from there, we're covering the semi-final of the Women's World Cup between England and France. Then from there, it is the Rugby World Cup qualifying game between Chile and Samoa, the first of the two games. Then from there, it will be Tonga versus Canada in the bronze final of the Pacific Nations Cup, and then the final of the Pacific Nations Cup between Fiji and Japan, happening straight after. So last live stream will be finishing at about 2 p.m. tomorrow. Oh, double blow the whistle here. This sounds like it might be a card. Far too many penalties. You must roll east to west. And that looks like it is going to be the yellow card now for Will Stoddard. Oh no, sorry, Will Tucker, other Will. And he was already on the ref's radar anyway, wasn't he, from being annoying. You need to poke it with a fork first. Rotate it a few times. Also, it gets soggy, but yes, you can. How deep do I have to poke it? Yeah? Because, like, you can poke a sausage, don't you, to stop it from popping. Yeah. And can you cook a sausage in the microwave? I wouldn't eat a sausage in a microwave. That would be rough. Although you can cook a frankfurter, or like one of those thin orange ones. You can cook them in the microwave. They always smell terrible.
Overcook them and see them go.
Things going from bad to worse. Yeah, it does not help, although Che Fiaki has actually mistouched there. So it does mean that Otago will have themselves the possession. Is the Curry Cup an Indian competition? It is not, no. No, it came from the last name Curry, not the dish. We have there, bro, kicked it dead. Is the Fijian draw lock playing for Otago, or is he in the Fiji squad? He is playing for Otago. Joe Tamani is out there. He's scored himself a try already. Otago versus the ref, says Highlanders fan. Yeah, although to be fair, he got 3 warnings for his behaviour.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a douchebag.
Want to go about an inch deep, says Big Rig. Don't have that as your Tinder bio. We have there, poke it into the middle. Microwave potatoes do work, says I Lollipop. Which is what, like 2.5 centimetres? Could I cut the potato in half and just put it in rather than keeping it as a whole? Well, you know, if we're concerned about the middle being cold, just chop it in half. Make it 2 little potatoes. Seems easier.
I used to do them in the microwave years ago.
Did you?
Yeah. Save time.
Well, how long would it take? I've got too many questions about potatoes now. Who started?
A dog with a bone.
Yeah. Or a bloke with a potato. Poking things, most things helps to relieve the tension, says Jason. Oh, breaking the line here, Otago. They're going to try and poke the defence, and he's gone straight through. And it's another try for Otago. And this time it's Lucas Casey. That was a great step.
It was.
Right, we'll go like that, we'll go like that. They are back within 5. Damn, says the AOA underdog. They're not going down easy, are they? And they got a man disadvantage, but he is having a field day out there. And unfortunately, just stepping round, that was too easy. The fast feet, Joe Tamani decided he wanted to dive over the try line too. Running away with it now, says Big Rig. Well, it's Otago who scored though. There we go. The scoreboard's looking a lot better for them here. As this guy in the Highlanders community, they'll be bloody hoping he is.
Yeah.
Stick to instant mashed potato. That is in the microwave, isn't it? Could I make mashed potato in the microwave from actual potato? If you hear a bang at 3 a.m, you know what I've done.
You can deal with your father.
We have the I agree. If you want to microwave a potato for some reason, go for instant mash. So here's Big Rig. That one. Just a great step from Otago. They shouldn't be as close as they are here, or just cook a potato normally. You could do that, yeah. And then mash it. But 31 after the kick has missed. Oh, does bounce in the field of play for Canterbury. That was a few inches away from being a poor kickoff. It's turned out to put them in a good position on the field with 17 minutes left. That score, please, says Davis. So it is currently 63 minutes in, 36-31. I know that it gets a little bit behind when I don't have my mouse in the right place. But Liam Coltman, that's the type of player you want out there for the final moment. Someone who's been there, done that. And he's 150 years old. Now off to the right-hand side. Another step two. Oh, he almost got sold with a step two, didn't he? He's got a lethal one. Is that instant mash actually spuds or some weird substitute? I think it depends on what type you get. I think some of it's like...
Get the packet stuff, put it in the microwave to mash it.
It's like dehydrated potato, some of it, isn't it?
Nice.
Yeah. KFC, for their mashed potato, I think that's what they use, isn't it?
Probably.
So if you got something with it, I'd say it's probably a decent option. But if you're having it by itself, you probably notice that it tastes a bit, you know. Or just forget the whole potato and drink vodka. There you go. It's easier, isn't it? Cook potatoes old school and stop living the fast and easy life, says Jason. But I want to put a potato in the microwave. So
we'll do it later.
Yeah, we'll do it later. We'll film it. KFC mash is delicious. Oh, that probably means it's full of salt and butter, says Big Rig. A steep bounce of the ball. Pledger waits for it. You know what's in the air? A shield change. At the moment. Oh, that's a lot of pressure. Everyone's slipping and sliding. They're playing on the ice rink at the moment. Canterbury, that's a hard collision there. And the penalty goes the way of Otago. Now, that might have been an accidental head-on-head contact there for the number 14. Curtis McDonald. Bless you, says Big Rig. And I am from Durban, fun fact. Did you know a flaky chocolate bar cannot be melted? Get out. Like as in like the flake one, the one that overlaps with each other. We're going to need a blowtorch and a flake. I don't know if I believe you, Brian. We're talking about the flake, like as in like the one that kind of laps over itself, right? We have got their numbers, says the AI, but yeah, nice step there initially, but then Coltman, the man who made the tackle, now sitting 5 metres out from the line. Well, what a game, Mr. Hamish, says Kiwi Rob. They are now 5 metres out from the line. Otago throwing it in, nicely taken. We've got to remember, they're still playing with 14 on the field. They've actually got better since Will Tucker went off.
Maybe he was
He was a bad omen for them. But 5 metres out, that looked like Ollie Haig's just trying to illegally drag that one down for Otago, but they are rolling, and they are over again. And George Bell, he can't quite believe it. Hey, he's right, flakes don't melt. I saw a video. No, surely not. I can't. No. Wait, how did they try and melt them? Did they use a microwave? Or did they use a blowtorch? Because I think it's got to be a meltable thing. But Liam Coltman, I mentioned about the veteran, having him out there and the rolling maul. See, the only thing I'll say is Ollie Haig, I feel like him there. You watch what he does here. He kind of grabs 2 Canterbury players and pulls them out and drags them out of the maul. Yeah, but you're not really supposed to do that, I don't think. But it did lead to the rolling maul. What a game, says Leighton. Oh, yeah, got 10 minutes. And the Shielders going on to the Christchurch Southern Motorway and go Otago. What was Tucker sent off for? So it was repeat infringements. I saw they used a microwave. Interesting. So what happens to it? It just sits there chilling and gets really hot, and then eventually what turns darker, I guess? Cam Miller gets the kick over. And now with 13 minutes left, Otago, for the first time in this whole match, take the lead. Are you going to be the lucky charm for an underdog in a Shield game again?
I hope so.
And gosh, Canterbury are choking. Yeah, the same one. A blowtorch will just burn it. It has something to do with the molecules of cocoa and oil not together. Cannot melt in the microwave or frying pan or blowtorch. That's unbelievable. I'm amazed by it, and I'm going to have to try it at some point.
We'll buy a couple of flakes.
Yeah.
Put one in the microwave and put one over a hot pot.
Yeah. Hot pot? Like as in like have it like a...
Boiling water and put...
Oh, you're going to dangle it.
No, you didn't.
You're going to hold it hostage and say, tell us what we want to know. Will you melt? Oh, quick answer from Johnny River. Otago seem to have that little bit of extra aggression in the breakdowns now. You should do some experimental cooking. So many fun dishes to do, says I Lollipop. It just kind of sits there and goes, you call that heat? Well, I'm amazed. Can Otago win this? They absolutely can. I think that at the moment, Otago look like the more likely to win this. All just outside of the 22 for Cam Miller, so mark is not called. Well, I go and make a coffee and the scores. They even go Otago. Yeah, second half-wise, they've scored a lot of points here, Otago. 12 more than we've seen from their opposition. Stupid Bay of Plenty don't play Otago this year, says Kiwi Rob. But yeah, if Otago win, they have to play up against North Harbour next week. If Canterbury win, they have got a 1-week break, not so much in the NPC, but in the Ranfurly Shield, and then they go head-to-head up against none other than the Taranaki Bulls. Why couldn't the Women's World Cup games be this close? Yeah. Semi-finals, they do have a chance of both being a bit one-sided, unfortunately. Although I'd like to see France be competitive, just to see a close game. Now, rolling maul here. George Bell hanging on to it. Liam Coleman went through the middle and shut that one down. Nariki tackling low. A busy game so far, Jonah Nariki, but a try would seal the deal. Definitely at this stage of the match, and if they were able to get the conversion, it would be even better. But now still the yellow card remains here for Otago. Now Chapman, back across to the right-hand side again. Do you have Granny Smith apples there? I believe so, but they're not always in season. Big collision there. I think then he tried to tackle with his face. Now Chapman under pressure. Charging forward again. Slow to get back up to his feet there for George Bell. It's a knock-on from Otago. I'll go back for the scrum. Granny Smiths were a staple growing up. Put a golf ball in the microwave, press start and run.
Don't.
But Jason said to.
Oh, Jason?
Yeah, but Jason, earlier on, you did also say that you should kind of make the most of time and let it take its time. So put it in the oven instead. Watch it slip. That's what he said, wasn't it? He said don't rush things when it comes to cooking. Nice haircut, bro. Says Brandon. Thank you very much, Brandon. Yep. The eyebrows are staying, though. I know that many people want to get them shaved off too, as well as the beard. They just pretty much want me to be nothing, except for just face.
Why would you?
You know? A very young Canterbury. Like that to let 2 tries in. And can they make it 2 weeks in a row, pulling it out? of the fire for Canterbury, says Kiwi Rob. Yeah, they've certainly had to dig deep in their last two Ranfurly Shield challenges. That one's gone down in the front rows, and Otago are back to now having 15 on the field here. What we will do is we'll update the score and the time. People with no eyebrows look scary, says Matt. Currently 71 minutes through. I've gone 73 because I got excited. But the sun is setting over a Christchurch stadium. And currently, 2 points difference between these two sides. Canterbury, would they take a 3 here if they're this far out? Because they've missed a lot of kicks today. That's probably been their biggest problem. They've missed at least 3. Oh, another scrum reset. This is good for Otago. This uses up valuable seconds. A good turnout at Rugby League Park. So here's a Lim report. And how many fans in the crowd are Otago fans? There's actually quite a few. And with how this match started, with Canterbury being 12-0 up, compared to now, Otago up by 2, I think that the Otago fans will be more than happy making the trip. Now, they'll be even happier if they leave with that Ranfurly Shield. Take your sweet time at the scrum, boys. Mona Lisa doesn't look scary. Did Mona Lisa not have eyebrows?
Trying to think.
Yeah. I didn't pay much attention. You're going to Google it. As the wind showed up. Yeah, little bit of wind. Canterbury actually have the wind to their backs in this half, I believe. That's where we thought maybe they would be a bit more dangerous. Right, another scrum reset. That's the 3rd in a row. Okay. Referee calling both front rows over. Okay. Referee, after 3 scrum resets, has said, I'm happy to make a decision. Did she have no eyebrows or did they just blend in?
I think they've just blended in. Oh,
no, she's missing a bit of something up there, isn't she? Yeah, I see that bit there, kind of, I don't know. Is that an eyebrow or is that just her eye?
Is that the
It's just
shading?
yeah, maybe. We have got that. I'm an Otago fan, and usually after 3 resets, there's this penalty somewhere. Normally after 2, they are pretty close to chucking it in there. Or even just 1 scrum reset. Normally what would happen, though, is the clock would be turned off. And now Chapman going off to the right-hand side for Canterbury, but it used up an extra 2 minutes out of this game. I lost my eyebrows courtesy of losing a bet as a 16-year-old, says Jason. What was the bet? Now George Bell, drop ball from Johnny Rover. And now on the halfway line for Otago. This is their chance. If they score and convert now, they might be gone. She burnt them off standing over a hot fire waiting for her baked potato. Maybe. You know, perhaps she tried it in the microwave. Left the fork in the potato. Boom. Now kicked him behind. Big steep bounce sits up for McDonald. This is where Canterbury, they have to make a decision. Do they want to kick it downfield? They want to kick it downfield. Braden Unor has just done that. Goes into touch. Poker game says Jason would be good for rugby if Otago win the Shield. And yeah, it would be the first loss of the season for Canterbury as well. Now they are already pretty high up in terms of the overall standings. But yeah, this has been a much better game than it looked like it was going to be.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. 12 minutes into the game, when it was about 12-0, I was thinking, was sleep the better option? But now it's sitting 38-36 with 6 minutes to go. And I'm thinking, I'm glad I wasn't asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But Elton will make his way onto the field. That is for Joe Tamani. Also see another change being made by Canterbury. I hope Zach Gallagher doesn't leave to Japan. What a massive waste of talent. Says Tanner 2, and NPC has been proper exciting this year. And like we said earlier on, that final 10 minutes in every single game seems to be the big difference maker. If you're relatively close, there's a chance. Oh, you're saying it will be a draw? It can't be a draw at this point unless we see Otago score and miss their kick and then Canterbury also score and get it over. So for that to happen in the last 6 minutes, it's not impossible, but it would be quite tricky to do. Now Umunga Jensen, feeding that ball back, just trying to get into that breakdown. Canterbury with a good counter ruck. And Liam Coltman managing to half-by seal that one off. He actually looks injured here, Liam Coltman, on that near side. So I don't think he was doing it on purpose. He was just slightly... Oh, no, it's a veteran move, isn't it? He decided if it looks like he's injured, the ref won't tell him to roll away. And now just outside of the 22. Good shot again from, Lucas Casey, who's trying to work his way towards a man of the match, the way that he's been playing out there. Which team, Otago?
Yeah.
They've done it all day.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it hasn't worked all day, but I'm just hoping for a lucky bounce of the ball. Andrew Newstub. I guess territory game as well, just slowly forcing them further and further back. Keep it inside of the half. Some YouTubers.
Eating up time.
Yeah, that's true. A few extra minutes. We're already up to 75. Are we okay there? Hey guys, I have a bet on Canterbury. Do I cash out? What's the cash out sitting at? Because at the moment, Canterbury are getting closer to losing this, but they won't have a massive amount of a cash out option, I wouldn't think. Now ready to throw it in. And 4 minutes ago, says the Lim report. And the right half of the field. Now nicely taken again, this time by Will Tucker. Rolling maul setting up here again. If Otago can work this into a penalty advantage, that might be close. Referee says yes. Penalty advantage now for Otago. What time is the next game? Next game will be 12:45 New Zealand time. So that is in around about 6.5 hours. I mean, it was the last game that ended on a heroic drop goal. It's been a little while. I think we had one in Super Rugby a couple years ago, I want to say. I'll be home in Dunedin in 3 weeks. They might still have the bunting out if Otago win this one. And Ireland had one legendary one against France once, but they are kicking for the corner here. Didn't get a massive amount of distance, but the last thing that they didn't want to do was have a Che Fiaki and kick it dead. In this scenario, they're up to 77 minutes now. Otago still leading. Did you know, I don't want to jinx it, right? But if Otago win this, that is 2 games in a row that we've had you on for a Shield challenge that the Shield has changed hands.
And both south of Waimeti.
Yeah. Oh, nicely taken by Coltman. It's called as not straight. Oh, did I just jinx that a little bit? I just did what? Scott Barrett, Tupavai, Fabian Holland, Sam Derry, Zach Gallagher to be the locks. Says 10:02, 3 minutes ago. Otago should taste defeat at this point. And Lincoln McClutchy win the game for Hawke's Bay last week against Bay of Plenty with a drop goal. Yeah, they went close, didn't they? And the final moments. Good to see your mum on your Hamish. Says Mohadin. And what was Otago paying for the win? Anyone know? I believe coming into this game they were about $5 underdogs, I want to say. Somewhere around there from what I remember seeing, or maybe $3. Yeah. $5, $3.50, somewhere around there I thought it was.
Look at the Otago fans.
Yeah, they're loving it at the moment. Now Liam Coltman throws it in, taken again by Tucker.
Great throw.
That one has been called as straight. Now they just have to get that penalty advantage at rolling maul again, and they've got it once more. Now rolling forward, more time that this one takes to use.
Yeah, exactly.
The absolute better it will be. It's going to be dragged down, new penalty advantage. Now Otago going off to the left-hand side. If they're smart here, they won't do anything too risky. They will just look to play this one around a little bit. Jona Nareki passes across to Cam Miller, stepping around Braden Enor. Tackled hard. Christie looking for the steal because he knows, no, that's dumb. Little kick in behind attempted. It's going to bounce back into the hands of Canterbury, and they'll go back for the penalty. I think they needed to hang on to that for an extra 30 seconds at least.
Yeah.
But moving closer and closer to the 79th minute. By the time they get to the mark, which they will not be in any hurry to get to, they will
just tap it.
have a minute to go.
Pick it out. Just tap it up.
You think?
Either that or a scrum. Why would you go line out?
I think just for the territory. Just for the territory is the only reason. But I also think
the line out's going all right.
True. They should have.
Not through.
Yeah. Should have had 60 seconds more with ball in hand, though, shouldn't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Because then they could have been coming into this one at about 79.5.
Yeah.
And then you've got one kick into touch. Kick, yes, use up the clock. Shot at goal, says the Lim report. No, imagine it hits the post and comes back out.
And Canterbury run the length of the field just to piss them off.
But now 40 seconds remaining. Again, it's taken. Liam Coltman getting his lineouts right more times than not. And Canterbury don't seem to know how to defend a rolling maul at the moment.
No, keep it in there.
The ball's there. You can't keep it too long, though, because or else Canterbury will try and get through. Still moving forward here. Liam Coltman hanging on to it, told to use it. 19 seconds remaining. The veteran breaks off the back. Oh, okay. It doesn't look like they're looking for a try here. They're looking to just close this one out.
10 seconds.
They're not going anything too risky. George Power going for the offload to Umaga Jensen, who's just skipping and galloping. Trying to keep this one alive. 2 seconds remaining. Back into the pocket. Booting it into touch. Cam Miller celebrates before he puts the ball out. And Otago managed to win the Ranfurly Shield. Canterbury lose it at home. And again, it's going to be heading south. Good game, says the AI underdog pick, and also go on blue and gold, says Jason. Otago, says Session there. They do it. Close game, full time, 38 points to 36. And that is a big win to have, not just because it's up against Canterbury, a side that were undefeated up till this stage, but also because it was Canterbury at home as well. Mr. Hamish says, Session, well, it is great to have you back. We are going to be here for a lot of time throughout the next 24 hours or so. We've got 5 matches that we will be covering. One man is also Otago. You can celebrate with us. Says Kiwi there. Yeah. We have got there. Are you sure you're not in the military? Even your haircut is Digger approved. Says Gatsanel there. And congratulations, Otago and Fiaki. Can really play, hey? That one mistake, kicking it, trying to go for the corner and kicking it dead, that changed the momentum.
It did, didn't it?
From there, they kept on going. What games are you doing? So, the games that we have got coming up in the near future, we have got the matchup of the Curry Cup final between the Lions and the Griquas. Then from there, it will be the Women's World Cup semi-final between England versus France. Then after that, a Rugby World Cup qualification match between Samoa and Chile. Then the third place playoff game of the Pacific Nations Cup between Tonga and also Canada. And then the final of the Pacific Nations Cup taking place between Japan and Fiji. That one will be finishing at about 2 p.m. New Zealand time tomorrow. We have got the Otago. Here's David. Yeah, well-earned victory for the Otago side. Canterbury just seemed to take their foot off the gas in that second half, and the kicking game, unfortunately for them, it was shaky throughout this match. Not enough going over. They missed a total of about 6 points worth of kicks here.
Well, Sam Derry won't be man of the match this time.
Who would you give it to? Would you give it to Cam Miller? Would you give it to Jonah Nariki? Would you give it to Lucas Casey?
Lucas Casey, because his 2 runs changed the game.
Crucial in terms of the way that they were able to break through. But it only feels like a few weeks ago that we were talking about Waikato losing it to Southland. And now we've seen it again. The teams down south at the moment, they are digging deep. Is this a sign of things to come for the Highlanders this season? And Super Rugby Pacific coming up.
You never know.
And been loving the chat. You lot are hilarious. Says Claire there. And we have got there. Canterbury couldn't bully the gain line today, says Session. And also pineapple and spaghetti pizza on me. Says Kiwi there. And GSH and Mum, good stuff, says the AO underdog. And baked potatoes on the house and Dunners tonight. Yeah. We're going to have to stick a potato in the microwave in quick succession. Did you get a notification too? Okay, so what has happened there is my nana, which is my mother's mother, has just messaged my uncle, who is a Canterburyan fan through and through.
Yeah, he's got this on his...
Yeah, he's got the Canterbury eye patch, and she just messaged him saying, were you watching that one? We have good there. We're going to need a really, really big bonfire, says Big Rig. Oh, mate, don't get me too excited about the Highlanders, says Session there. Hello, Nana. Says Session. Yeah, there as well. But nonetheless, we do thank you all very much for tuning in. So the next game that I am going to be covering will be that Curry Cup final taking place between the Lions and the Griquas. That is going to be happening at around the Griquas. I get told off for saying the Griquas. It's not the Griquas, it's the Griquas. Can you go?
No, I can't.
Go on.
No,
give us a Give us a Give us a How about a tongue roll? Tongue roll. Oh, okay. They were at the game for that match up. And also Tasman versus Otago. So Otago don't get any rest because next week, guess what? They have to defend their title and their Ranfurly Shield up against North Harbour, a side who are undefeated. Well, sorry, they are just defeated for this season. They have not won a game as of yet. We have good there. You're making it sound French. Yeah, I like a bit of huh. Can you do a tongue roll for the class?
No. No, you know I can't.
Go on.
You say that.
Go on.
No. Doing it.
So happy for Otago, hey? Says Session there. Asbury, mate, 1848 was the last time Otago beat Canterbury in a Shield match. I believe it was 1935 they actually had at the start of the match as the little pop-up, but it was a very long time ago, 90 years since they were able to win it
Wait.
But, yeah.
Happy I could help.
Hopefully it is a sign of things to come for today. We see some close games, bit of excitement. But nonetheless, we do thank you all very much for tuning in. Guttural G's and rolling R's. Says a lollipop in there. But yeah, next game taking place in 6.5 hours time. Right, I watched the NPC, or the match NPC, bro. Brutal. Says Sash in there. Yeah, hopefully the Curry Cup final is a little bit the same as this one. Although there is a chance. It'll be a bit one-sided. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let us know if you are going to try and cook a potato at some point. But also do it responsibly. And we'll see you all for the next one.